Not too long, eh?
I guess I owe you an apology.
Yeah, what'd you ask that old bag to come for anyway?
Well, I thought it might help.
Yeah, well, I knew there'd be a clue. There always is with her and me. I told ya.
Sorry. Perhaps I'd better get my ears tested as well, eh?
Yeah, maybe.
The doctor's pleased with the results of the op. Those tests they gave you this morning show that your hearing's really improved.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry if I was a bit of a rat bag before.
Oh, forget it. Now that we've got to the root of your problem, all we've got to do is clear up the other things. By proving to everyone that you weren't stupid, just a bit deaf.
Yeah.
Look, I know I'm not supposed to be here, Mrs. Morris, but I've got to see B.
Now, you know that's not allowed.
Couldn't you swing it, please? It's real important.
Well, you better tell me what it's about.
Oh, just need her advice, that's all.
Bees?
Yeah, well, she's got lots of ideas about things. See, I'm in a bit of a spot. I know it's just rotten luck, but Wayne went and lost his job and, well, we're broke. I've been to see about the doll, but it's going to take about 2 weeks.
How do you expect Bee to help?
Well, she might be able to tell me where I can get a job or something.
What about the money you left here with?
We had a few expenses.
Oh, there must be a way to cut through the red tape. Look, you leave it with me. I'll phone the CES and see if they can hurry things along.
Oh, that's terrific, thanks. But, could you still tell Bea I dropped by to see her?
All right. I'll be in touch.
Thanks, Mrs. Morris.
Morning, Vera.
Meg,
I see you've started the mail. Thanks.
someone had to do it. I didn't know what time you'd managed to get in.
5 minutes isn't exactly losing the whole day.
10, but don't worry. I've finished. I was just wondering whether I should allow Smith to see this. She already thinks she's so important. That sort of rubbish will only make her worse.
What's wrong with it? I mean, all he's saying is that Debbie's getting on very nicely.
He thinks Smith is responsible for putting her on the straight and narrow. If anyone's responsible, it's us.
Does it matter? I mean, at least the program worked.
What program's this?
Ken Pierce was banned from Wentworth because of his sordid little association with Smith. He shouldn't be allowed to have any contact with her, even through a letter.
He was an activities officer associated with the prison for a while. He thought his daughter was heading for trouble, so we had her in here for 24 hours.
And it worked?
Well, according to this letter.
Oh, great.
She sorted herself out by going back to her mother. It had nothing to do with her ex-prisoner father or Smith. Once you've got a criminal mentality, nothing's going to help.
I don't know. If someone had helped the Baxter girl in time...
I'll just go and deliver this mail. Excuse me.
You've only been here a few weeks. You've got no idea what these women are really like.
Georgie Baxter could have ended up a totally different person if someone had taken the time to discover that she was deaf.
If you think this operation will have changed her attitude, you're going to be very disappointed.
Good morning, ladies.
Morning.
Here's your mail. Emma. Shepherd. Smith.
Anything for me, Mrs. Morris?
Sorry, Doreen.
Aren't you going to read it now, Bea?
I'll get around to it later.
If I got a letter and I knew somebody like me who hardly ever gets any letters, well, I'd share it with them.
Well, good for you. Oh, by the way, Margot called in to see you this morning. I'm sorry. You know the rules.
Oh, yeah.
Mrs. Morris, I understand Georgie's operation was a success. I was just wondering when she was coming back.
Sometime this morning.
Oh, thanks.
Margot must be waiting for that money you've been keeping for her.
If they won't let her visit us, how can I get it back to her?
We should have figured out a way for her to take it with her.
Nothing we can do until we know what she wants done with it. You still worried about Georgie?
It's just that I made a complete idiot of myself over her.
Maybe you should make sure the feelings go both ways next time.
I told her about myself. I mean, how was I to know she was deaf? Anyway, the way she looked after me when I was sick, I thought she cared the same way, you know.
You're always getting yourself in a knot over some useless kid.
What do you mean by that?
No, I'm just saying that maybe you should stick to your own age group in future.
Tell me something. If you had a kid and she got involved with someone like me, what would you do about it?
I don't have a kid, remember?
Yeah, but I just want to know.
It's always been my policy to let live in that area, you know.
You haven't answered my question, Bea.
All right. If I had a kid, I suppose, like most other parents, I'd like to see her married and happily with kids of her own. Is that what you wanted to hear?
You mean keep her away from people like me, huh?
I try to protect her, yeah. If for no other reason that I've seen what it's done to you. I wouldn't wish that amount of unhappiness on anyone.
Haven't you got something else to do, Mr. Andrews? I'm quite capable of checking Baxter in myself. All those times in solitary seem to have taught her a lesson. Or perhaps that operation did do her some good.
I've plenty of time, thank you, Miss Bennett. I wanted a word with Georgine about coming to classes.
No, Georgie.
All right, Georgie. What do you say? You won't miss anything in classes now. I guarantee I'll have you up there with the best of them in no time. The reason you fell behind in school is that you missed half of what was being said. Well, now that that's past history, are you ready to give it a go? Georgie?
Huh? Now that you can hear properly, Baxter, I suggest you try listening for a change. And when you address a member of staff, you'll use his or her name.
I wish I was still dead, that I wouldn't have to hear your voice, you old bag.
Georgie.
That's just earned you another little stint in solitary.
You're just like Shirley Bright, always putting me in solitary, you bloody dyke.
And you think she's going to change. She should be kept well away from the rest of the prison, Mrs. Davidson. If we're soft on her now, we'll never be able to control her.
Well, solitary's only made her worse. I think it's time we tried a different approach.
Such as?
I'd like to see her moved in with B. Smith.
Smith is one of the biggest troublemakers in here.
I agree with Miss Bennett.
Well, I think she could be a good influence. She relates well to the young ones, and she doesn't put up with any nonsense.
We're the ones to handle discipline, Mr. Andrews, not Smith.
Well, B's coming to classes. Now, if she can get Georgie to come, an education will be the making of her. She's a different girl now, Mrs. Davidson, now that she can hear. I think we ought to give her a chance.
Miss Bennett, would you arrange for either Lizzie or Doreen to be moved out, please? All right, Mr. Andrews. We'll see how it goes.
The only thing that an education does for these women is to make them think the world owes them a living.
Thank you, Miss Bennett. That will be all.
I guess she's right in a way. I have to build up their hopes, otherwise they wouldn't bother coming to classes. But if I build it up too much, they just get kicked in the teeth once they're released. Now, I only prepare them for jobs. I don't employ them.
Bet he writes a real good letter, eh, Betty? Be nice to know what's going on the outside.
Good, Doreen. Look, all he says is that Debbie's got herself engaged to a nice young bloke that's on his way up.
Well, who'd want to marry her? I reckon she's a real smart aleck. So funny.
I know. Oh, it's just that he thinks I had a hand in straightening her out, that's all.
Must be nice to have a bloke who reckons you're real special.
You can read your love letters in your own time, Smith. Now get back to work. What's the matter, Vera? You jealous you haven't got a bloke to write to you? You ought to collect your things and move into Bryant's cell.
What did I do?
Mr. Andrews wants Baxter in with Smith.
Why, for crying out loud?
It's time your little pack was split up. Well, I don't know why you're looking so disappointed. You'll have a better chance with Burns. She's had warped relationships in the past,
That's
too.
not fair, and I don't want to be moved.
Now, can you get going before I put you on report?
Bloody hell.
You can thank your friend Pierce for this. Being such a good influence on his daughter, Mr. Andrews thinks you can do the same for Baxter. You showed my letter around the entire building, did you, Vera? So there you get your kicks, prying into other people's lives.
One day I'm going to ram this flaming steam press right down her bloody throat.
Stupid flaming sticky beaks. Why are they always picking on me? What did I do?
Hey, it's not going to be that bad, you know? We're going to have some good times, you'll see.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Anyway, I don't reckon she should be put in here at all. She probably needs to be on her own in solitary.
Oh, now, hang on. I think we should give her a fair go.
Well, that's up to you. I better go and have a word with her.
It's just that we're all mates, and she's not one of us.
I don't know what you're worrying about, love. You're not going to the end of the world. You're going to share with Jude. You get on just as well with her as you do with us.
Yeah, but it's just what Vera said. I don't want people thinking I'm still like that, you know?
Oh, now, come on. Since when have you ever worried about what Vinegar thinks?
Yeah, I suppose.
Well, you can sure see your operation was a success. A couple of days ago, I could have fallen flat on my face in here and you wouldn't have heard a thing, huh? That's what I wanted to talk to you about, Georgie. Falling flat on my face. I just wanted to say to you that I'm sorry. I got things screwed up, that's all.
You got me chucked in the pound.
Look, I explained to Mrs. Davidson that you just lost your cool because of me. I'd never do anything to hurt you, honest.
I get nicked, you fat old poofta. What are you staring at? Still keen on me, are you? Does this turn you on? You try looking at me twice, you old faggot, and I'll scratch.
What's going on here?
You made her pass at me, and as soon as I knocked her back, she started laying into me. Just keep
That's
me, the old
not
Lego.
true. I was just trying to apologize to her.
Get your things out of here, Baxter. You're disgusting, Bryant. You should learn to keep your hands to yourself. And you can start by scrubbing down the corridors on the first floor.
You could have raped me.
I'm sure you and Bryant will get on very well. I'll catch up with you.
It's not true.
Look, she's a roughneck kid with a chip on her shoulder. Maybe you should keep clear of her. You know how she feels about you.
Oh, yeah. Fat old poofter. She made that very clear.
Yes, well, 2 weeks could mean the difference between her ending up back in prison or starting a new life. You know how difficult it is to get a job with a record. Look, if anything comes up in the way of waitressing or cleaning, could you let me know? Yes, Mrs. Morris at the Wentworth Detention Centre. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it.
Georgie was suffering from what is called a congenital fixation of the Staves foot plate, which produces...
And I thought there was something wrong with her ears. Alex, teach, why don't you speak English?
Fair enough. She's had a hearing loss of about 70 decibels since birth. Now, I'm telling you all this because we have to be patient with her. If she asks you questions that may seem silly to you, well, don't laugh. Bear with her. We should encourage her at the moment, not ridicule her. Any questions?
Yeah. Does this mean that we have to treat her as though she's real special?
No, not at all.
Well, why the hell was I kicked out?
I beg your pardon?
Those cells, they may not mean very much to some people, but they're home to us. And if you're going to start shoving us around like we're a bunch of cows or something, well, it's not fair.
I'm sorry, Doreen. I should have spoken to you first.
Yeah, well, nobody thinks about our feelings, do they?
Georgie, sit down. We're just about to start. I think we'll concentrate on some maths.
Oh.
Simple percentages. It's very important when you're dealing with hire purchase, loans, or investments. Now, if you have any money, always try and make it work for you.
They only moved you in with Bea and Lizzie because they felt sorry for you. You know, drongos always sit at the front of the class.
Stop that. That's enough. Now, come on. Stop that.
She started it. She can't even take a joke.
Doreen, I don't care who started it. Bea, I want to see you outside. The rest of you get on with some reading. And think yourself lucky I'm not reporting this. You wait here, Georgie. I want a word with Bea. And the reason I wanted her in your cell was that I thought you might be the one person she'd listen to. I know you had some success with a youngster some time ago.
Anywhere else, reading a person's private mail would be a crime.
I didn't read your mail, Bea. I just thought you might like to take her under your wing. The women respect you. If they see you trying to help her, they could follow your example.
She's put a lot of noses out of joint, and I'm not taking sides with her against my mates.
Even if I tell you what sort of a background she comes from?
I would have heard it all before. And she's going to turn into poison ivy, no matter who the gardener is.
She can hear all right now, can't she? It's not our fault she was born deaf. I can't see why we have to bow and scrape to her.
Okay. I'll go and have a word with her if it's going to make you feel any better.
What'd she stand there like that for? 'Cause she's a nong, that's why. And I'm the one who had to give up me bed to her.
Hey, kid.
What are you doing creeping up on me?
You just didn't hear me, that's all.
I was listening to something else and you had to go and spoil it.
I don't hear anything.
Poking fun at me?
You swipe at me, kid, and you'll wonder what hit you.
Can't you hear the car?
Oh, yeah.
There's a bird over there too. And the wind. I never heard that before, unless it was a bad storm.
Yeah, well, I guess I take a lot of things for granted.
That's your problem.
over here. I tried getting in to see you before.
Yeah, I know.
You got my dough?
It's safe.
I need it, like now.
Okay. Be in the same place as Savo. I'll make sure you get it.
Thanks. See you then.
Well, did you tell her off real good, Bee?
Oh, yeah, sure. Hey, Lizzie, I want you to get hold of Jude for me. I've got a little job for her while we're in class.
When you finish here, you can start on the next floor. That should keep you out of temptation's way. No smart comments, Bryant? Or do you have to have an audience for that? Impressionable young girls, for instance? What could they possibly see in you? But there again, you're not too choosy yourself. Take Sharon Gilmore. But even she didn't seem your type. What do you do, Bryant? Force them into behaving like animals? Or do you just pick out the simple ones? Whichever it is, your sort should be locked away from young girls altogether. You should take a good look at yourself. A lumbering 40-year-old degenerate. And if I so much as hear a complaint against you again, I'll have you up on another charge.
Don't take no notice of her, love. She's got no soul.
I'm not as bad as all that, am I?
Of course you're not, love. We can't help the way we're made. Anyway, you got a heart bigger than any of us, and they can't take that away from you. I better go before I'm missed. I told Mrs. M that I was going to the loo. Listen, love, Bee wants you to do her a favour. You reckon you're up to it?
Yeah.
Well, you know that money of Margot's that Bee's got. She wants you to get it out to her, same way as Helen Smart got them plans into us. Do you reckon you can set that up? Atta girl. Don't you let that mongrel Bennett upset you.
Everyone else has gone back in, Georgie.
All right, going back there so they can all laugh at me.
Who laughed at you?
As you think I'm dumb too.
No, I don't. And I don't think Mr. Andrews does either.
I don't care what you think anyhow.
All right. But you can't stay out here.
I ain't feeling so good. My ears make me feel dizzy. I'm not used to noise.
Oh, do you want the sister to have a look at them?
Now, I'd like to lie down.
All right.
I'll take that, Baxter.
It's just a ball.
And you've got nothing to worry about. Now give it to me. It's against the rules for inmates to have money, Baxter. You've just earned yourself another little stint in solitary. Unless, of course, you'd like to tell me how this money got here.
Why didn't you tackle Bryant instead of going through with this charade?
Because she's not the only one involved, and they must be caught red-handed. Well, I wouldn't want to be accused of persecution.
You had to prove a point, didn't you?
Okay, Jude. Which end of the court do you want?
I don't care.
I'll take this side.
No, I'd watch her. The sun's in your eyes.
You better get moving. I told Bill on the gates. He'll go with you in case you have any trouble.
Old Bennett ought to be shot for the way she spoke to Jude.
She'll get over it.
Well, I wish we didn't have to get her into it, though. In case anything goes wrong, old Vinegar would love to get her claws into her
But she's
again.
got a stronger forearm than anyone. Besides, keeping her busy is the best thing for her. It's about time we made a move.
Hang on. That's good.
Burns, we're going to see the governor.
What for? Just for hitting a lousy ball over a lousy fence?
No one knew anything about it. I set the whole thing up myself.
Well, if no one can explain about the money, then I have no choice but to confiscate it.
But it's mine!
You were paid the full entitlement when you were released, Gaffney. I can only assume you came by this money through illegitimate means.
I need it, Mrs. Davison. Have a heart.
Oh, don't worry. It will be put to good use, either the educational fund or recreation.
No, you can't.
That's enough, Gaffney. You're very lucky I'm not taking this matter further. But if ever you are found around the grounds of Wentworth again, I can assure you I will not be quite so understanding.
What about Brant, Mrs. Davidson?
Well, if she is silly enough to take the full responsibility, then she will have to accept the punishment. No privileges for 2 days. That will be all. Thank you, Miss Bennett.
Come on.
Was it absolutely necessary to keep that money? Margot's got nothing. Boyfriend's lost his job. She can't get one. They can't keep their heads above water.
How do you know all this?
I visited her friend before Margot got out.
Sit down, please, Meg. You were studying to be a social worker for some years, weren't you?
Yes, I gave it up after I married Bill.
I had a talk with Mr. Andrews this morning. Both of us are aware we can only do so much. When the women are released, there are social workers, but they are also very much overworked. The point is, I feel we need a careers officer. Someone who can help the women decide what they want to do when they leave here, and also someone who can help to find suitable employment for them prior to their release. Would you be interested?
Yes.
Of course, the job would only pay about $10 more a week.
Well, that doesn't matter.
And your normal duties would take precedence. You must only be involved with the women who are serving sentences. However, if you should find by chance that you are involved with a woman who has already been released, then I would make an exception. But in future, you must only concentrate on the women who are inside.
B. Georgie's not coming back to classes. Well, have you thought any more about what I said?
No.
I thought you all looked after your own. Seems that I was wrong. You're treating her the same way as she was treated on the outside.
Well, she's not my responsibility.
Why not? You're Queen Bee. Aren't you the one they all go to when they're in trouble?
Well, she hasn't come to me.
Well, perhaps you should make the first move. Or are you afraid she's too much of a challenge?
Oh, Mr. Andrews, that sounds just like a dare.
Well, it could be.
Well, it just so happens I'm in the mood to take you up on it.
Thanks.
Well, I found out who went to the screws.
Who?
Georgie. She's the bloody lagger.
There are certain rules here, kid. The most important one is you never lag to the screws. But if anyone does, they never do it again.
I wasn't going to cover for something I'd never done. I was just looking and Bennett caught me.
You got Judy into strife.
Oh, what?
That mean streak of yours has just earned you a thrashing.
I'm a bad Sue, didn't you know that? I saw what you said to Andrew.
What do you want about?
I can read lips, smart ass. Go on, hit me, go on! I dare you! I've been beaten more than anyone! You can't hurt me, no one can!
Ah, another guest coming in?
Mr. Fletcher's gone to meet the van, if you're interested in welcoming the new prisoner.
Pardon?
I thought being careers officer, you'd like to throw yourself into the job straight away.
Well, I'm glad you've taken such an interest. Who told you?
Mrs. Davidson sent a memo to all staff. I'm surprised you accepted such a thankless job, especially since you've got a husband, a home, and other duties. But I suppose if it means a promotion...
It isn't exactly a promotion.
Well, you'll be getting an increase in salary, won't you?
All set, darling? Hello, Vera.
Bob!
No, I finished up early. Did I hear someone mention an increase in salary?
$10, that's all. You know what, I'll tell you about it at home. Good night, Vera.
Over there. Stay on that line, please.
Times have changed. Very posh.
No talking. Jean Nancy Baxter, you've been sentenced to a period of 7 days imprisonment, having been found guilty of living off the earnings of prostitution. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Fletcher.
Oh, whatever you say. You know, you look familiar. Haven't been visiting my establishment by any chance?
Over there, please.
Here, no need to rip it off. So you probably know my kid. I think they said she was in Wentworth. Yeah, that's right. Georgina. Sweet little girl. Spit in your eye as soon as look at you. Like mother, like daughter. Wouldn't you say, Mr. Fletcher?
There's not a mark on her.
Come on.
But he said I had to say I'm sorry.
Really? And what do you say?
I just said it.
And?
And I'll never lag again.
And you really sound as though you mean it, too.
Now, just hang on a minute, Doreen. She's apologised, and that's good enough for me.
What about Jude and me? We're the ones who copped the raw deal because of her.
Well, what do you say, Jude? Good enough?
Yeah, sure.
Smith or one of the others will show you the ropes, though I'm sure you'll remember the basic rules.
Ah, hello, Georgie, love. Funny thing me turning up like this, isn't it?
Can't you shout now, remember?
You're looking well, sweetheart.
I don't got a knack for them. He's a slut. I hope he's got any.
Keep a civil tongue in your head, Baxter, or go to your cell.
You bet I will. Can't stand the stink in here. I hate the guts.
Well, she's just the same. Lovely way to greet your own mother, though, isn't it?
Well, one of the things the parole board wants to know is whether they have a job or any means of support when they get out. Now, that's one area I can help.
You mean there's more?
Of course. Thanks, darling. But don't worry. It'll all be done in my regular hours.
You always were a girl that did things half-heartedly, weren't you?
Darling, it's important. For once in my life, I'll be able to do something positive instead of just laying down the law.
Yeah, I know, which is why you'll be going in early, working back late, generally running yourself into the ground.
I always give it up if it gets too much. I do have my priorities right, you know.
So do I. Which is why we're going to eat out tonight, right? So if you will slip into something a little less seductive, I'll make a booking.
Darling, do you mind if we make a brief stop on the way?
You don't know where we're going yet.
Well, it won't take long, I promise.
Yes, well, this wouldn't have anything to do with your new job, would it?
Well, I didn't get a chance to talk to Margot. I don't want her worrying, that's all. Just this once?
Once it is.
Georgie, you want this in your face?
Keep moving, Baxter.
There is no way to speak to your mother, no matter what she's done to you. Now, shut up and eat.
Look at her sucking up to B and B letting her.
Friends better watch that girl. No idea what it was like trying to raise her. You know, having a retarded child like that.
She's not as dumb as she looks. Nobody asked you to join us? What? Like mother, like daughter may not be true, but I'm just not interested enough to find out, okay?
G'day. G'day, love.
Where the bloody hell have you been?
Now, don't start nagging me. I'm not ran into Charlie. You remember Charlie? You're looking good, Margo.
You've been drinking. Where'd you get the money to buy the grog?
Don't worry. It's coming out of your first week's wages.
Oh, what?
Take a lad off, Charlie.
What wages? What are you talking about?
Charlie's got your job.
Doing what?
Doing what you're best at, love. Performing.
Get out of here. I'm going straight. In case you forgot to mention it to you.
Now. This is all legit, sweetheart. Or near enough to it. You see, I've opened a flick joint and I'm after a spunky stripper to fill in between films.
And you said yes? To me stripping?
What's wrong with that?
Thanks. I can just imagine what sort of a joint it is if he's got anything to do with it. Porno movies. Well, I wouldn't be caught dead in a joint.
$100 a day, tax-free. That's right, $100 a day.
Just for taking your clothes off? Ah, excuse me.
Ray, is Margo in?
Yeah. You got a bloody nerve coming here after you ripped me off $500?
Well, I just wanted to tell you I've spoken to the CES and they'll have your cheque through within a week. In the meantime, there's a good chance that there's a cleaning job available.
Thanks very much, but I've just been offered a job as a nightclub dancer.
Hey, Margo, how's about introducing me to your gorgeous friend here?
Quit drooling, she's a screw.
Well, I'm here as a careers officer, actually.
Yeah, well, why don't you go and help someone else? We're doing very nicely, thank you.
Well, if you change your mind, I'll see myself out.
Yeah.
A cleaning job. Big bloody deal. I tell you something. You hired yourself a little beauty, mate.
Who do you think you are treating me like that? I'll teach you to make a fool of me in front of those women. Cheap little tramp, you'll learn respect if I have Leave her alone! Hey, if you ever come near Georgie again, I'll do more than box your ears. Now you get out of here. She is my bloody kid. I'll do what I bloody well please.
Oh, not anymore, you won't.
It's the only language she understands.
I said, get out of here. You okay?
Could have buggered me ear.
Oh, she's not going to hurt you anymore. Don't worry. I'm going to see to that.
He never cared for me. Too busy screwing around.
Whereabouts did you live?
Oh, he had a room in one of them parlours. Whenever Jeannie was working...
Jeannie?
Yeah, me mother. She wouldn't let me call her Mum because she didn't want anyone knowing I was a kid. When she was with one of them blokes, she used to duck me in with one of them shearers or I'd go and play in the street.
Well, you must remember something nice about her.
Oh, she hated me.
She ever hit you much?
Yeah, all the time.
Well, she won't in here.
I never had no one stand up for me before.
Come on, darling, your coffee's getting cold. You know, I didn't think I'd be able to eat breakfast after that meal last night.
Yes, I ate a lot too, but it was delicious.
I thought you said you weren't on duty till 10:30.
I'm not, but I've got a few things to do first.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't have anything to do with that woman you saw last night, would it?
I can't believe Margot's got herself a job as a nightclub dancer.
Does it matter?
Didn't like the look of the man who got the job for her.
All the more reason to stay away. But, darling, you've done what you could. Right?
You've got a lot of contacts. Do you know anyone who'd need an office cleaner?
The answer is no, Meg. I'm not having myself or my friends turned into work bureaus for ex-prisoners.
Well, you're going to help Tracy when she gets out.
Well, she's my daughter. I mean, you're not comparing her to this Margot woman, are you?
Well, I only meant that Margot hasn't got anyone to help her.
Look, darling, Tracy made one mistake. Okay, she's paying for it, but she made one mistake, and you're putting her in the same category as all these hardened crims. I mean, you've only got to look at their backgrounds. Now, I saw that place that woman was staying in last night. It wasn't fit for pigs.
It's not Margot's fault that she isn't as lucky as Tracy. And Anyway, all you had to do was say no. I only asked.
Look, darling, you took this job on. Now, that's fine, but don't expect me to get involved.
All right, all right.
And I'm sick of coming home every night and getting up every morning and talking about prisoners. Now, I don't think that's too much to ask, do you?
All right, ladies, you've still got an hour's work before classes. Bryant, you'll be on cleaning duty, so you can forget about classes altogether. You'll be in the laundry. Smith will show you what to do.
Becoming the real little babysitter, I reckon.
Baxter, you'll come with me. You'll remake that bunk until you get it right, and you'll take down that sign.
You know what you can
Just do it, Georgie. Wish you'd done like I used to tell her.
Some people shouldn't be allowed to have kids.
What's wrong with me, huh? What's my kid been telling you? She's a little liar. I bet she didn't tell you how I worked my backside off for her to keep her.
Oh, so you're bragging about your profession now, are you?
Margot, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to wake you up.
What do you want?
Oh, may I come in?
Hope you don't mind the mess. Had a bit of a celebration last night.
Because of your new job?
Yeah, sure. Couldn't be better. And Wayne's out this morning looking for one too. With both of us working, I might not need the dole after all.
Are you certain this is the job you want?
Oh, it's better than starving.
Whereabouts is it? I dropped into the CES again this morning. That cleaning job's still open if you change your mind.
I've had it up to here with jobs like that. From now on, I want a bit of life, a bit of bright lights and nice clothes to wear. And I want to hear people having a good time for a change.
Well, it's easier to stay out of trouble in a less exciting job. And it's only till you find something else.
With the record? You've got a lot to learn, Mrs. Morris. If you want to help us, you can tell all those decent, nice people out there to leave us alone and stop making us serve time for the rest of our lives.
Trust works both ways, Margot.
You mean trust you? You're a screw, Mrs. Morris. And we learn not to trust them the minute we stand on that line.
How long are you going to keep this up?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I heard that smart crack out in the corridor. Now, if you've got something to say, I'd like to hear it.
You're hurting me.
Oh, I give up.
What do you want me to do with these?
Would you really like me to tell you?
It's very easy for you to judge, isn't it? Look, I did my best with that kid. I was barely 19 when I found out I was pregnant. Oh, I could have got rid of it. But no, I wanted to keep it. I wanted a kid of my own. All right, so it wasn't the best place in the world to bring her up, but it was the only way I knew how to earn a few bob.
Then why'd you have to keep belting her?
Because she was always playing up. How was I to know if she was deaf? Everyone reckoned she was simple, but I still wouldn't put her in a home.
Well, maybe if you had, they would have found out she was deaf a whole lot sooner.
Oh. And were you aware of that when she came inside?
Mothers are supposed to notice these things.
She would have turned out bad, no matter what I did.
Oh, is that a fact? Or is it just an excuse for you doing such a lousy job?
Can't you talk to me anymore? How come you don't like Jeannie? Is it because she's a frail or because she's my so-called mother?
Will you keep away from me, you little gutter snipe?
Georgie. You've got to talk.
Get nicked.
Please. You know what I'm like. I need people around me. I'll go mad if they don't talk to me. Look, it can be much easier now that we can understand each other. We can start again.
I know why you're trying to make up to me. It's because no one will want you when you get old. I'm all you've got. It's okay now you reckon I'm not so dumb, eh?
I figured you'd be up to something like this. Like what? I've got a right to talk to Georgie.
Listen, the bell's gone. Are you coming to classes or not?
Yeah. Yeah. I ain't going to end up stupid like her. I'm going to make something of myself.
You'll kill him, kid.
Never done anything like this before.
Well, just pretend I'm the only one out there. This'll make you feel better.
Where'd you get it, Wayne?
Remember the last 5 I had? Put it on a horse. Romped him.
You mean you've been gambling all day?
Now, before you start on me, I only did it to celebrate my new job.
Fantastic! Oh, I knew you could do it. Now I don't have to work for Charlie anymore.
Well, it's not much, mate. Washing dishes. It'll keep us in fags. But it's a start. And when I get on my feet again, of course you can give up Charlie's. We're on the way up, mate. I promise.
You're early?
Yeah. I've had a lousy day. Kicking myself for taking things the wrong way this morning. I think it's called selfishness.
It was my fault. I threw in quite a bit of thoughtlessness. Hey, do you like a drink?
I thought you'd never ask. Oh, jeez.
Oh, careful, darling, you lose my place.
Sorry, darling.
Out of ice.
This isn't exactly light reading, is it?
Yes, well, I've forgotten most of it. I thought I'd get stuck into it before you got home.
Oh, sorry I came home early. I said it's good to be home early. Oh, by the way, Hal phoned. He wants us to go over for drinks after dinner. Meg?
What did you tell him?
I told him I'd check with you.
Do you mind going without me?
What are you going to do, catch up on some reading?
No. I thought I'd get up early and do it.
Oh, you see, remember that one?
Hey, listen, did you ever play poker?
Yes, since I was 6, private certainly. With Judy, you want me hanging around?
You wouldn't know what numbers were on the cards anyway, stupid.
Doreen, if you can't say something nice, shut up. How about making a fourth, Doreen?
Why playing with her?
You play with whoever wants to play.
I wouldn't be caught dead with you anyway.
Suit yourself. You know, you're pretty smart for someone who hardly ever went to school. I reckon if you put your mind to it, you'll learn to read as well as any of us.
Wouldn't take much be better than her.
Oh, that'll be the day.
Knock it off, both of you.
Well, at least my mother was a real lady, Dumbo, not some prostitute, which is what you're going to have.
Will you stop that at once, Burns? You've had your last chance, Baxter. This time you will go to solitary.
No, wasn't me, you pig!
Cut it out, Baxter. See to it, will you please, Miss Bennett?
Hang on, Mr. Fletcher. You got the wrong one. Doreen started this.
Lagger. Not fair, it's not fair. She was asking for it.
Out of my way, Bryant.
Oh, B went and lagged on me. Georgie dumped me and I got to spend the night in the pound. She's nothing but a bloody lagger.
Well, what did you expect me to do? Let Georgie take the rap for something that Doreen had done. Besides, I've warned her a dozen times. Anyway, one night in the pound isn't going to kill her. Might even knock some sense into her. You could knock that smirk off your face too, young lady. It's about time you learned to use your brains instead of your fists for a change.
What the hell have you done to Doreen, goddammit?
She did it to herself, Judy.
Really? I don't suppose this bitch here had anything to do with it
Now,
either.
just a minute. You weren't here. You don't know what you're talking about.
I know what I'm talking about, all right. You've done the dirty on a kid who always looked up to you like her own mother. Well, I've had it with you. And I'll tell you something else, too. You go shoving your weight around in Doreen's direction anymore, and you're going to find me there shoving you right back.